Hi everyone, let's talk about Trailblazer, which I've just finished a full 2-player playthrough for. If you would like to check that out, it's linked in the description and it will give you all of the game in action and give you an idea in that way. This is just a video where I say what I think about it. If you are interested in that, assuming at this point you are. So Trailblazer, by the way, is on Kickstarter. The link to the campaign page is in the description. Everything you are seeing here is prototype components, but it should give you an idea of the game. So, Trailblazer. It is a lovely kind of marriage of theme and design and artwork. It just works beautifully. So it's Andrew Bosley doing the art, and illustrations are by Shirley Spencer. You know, from the various expeditions, you can go and see all of the animals and nature and everything that you can find in the field guide cards. It's just absolutely beautiful to get out, and as it spreads out and you go and see all of these things and build up this collection in your tableau in front of you, it just looks gorgeous. And yeah, this is just based on the prototype stuff. Production is fantastic. The gameplay, you know, it's worker placement. There's a couple of extra things to it with the you know, do the weather tile. Everyone gets to play a trail card. The backpack filling up, I really like that system. Like, there's a load of these things that, of course, things are abstracted out. Like, you know, we've got, like, water as a resource, fine. And then we've got, like, earth and wind and fire and stuff. You know, things are abstracted out in a way. And so, too, like, your backpack. You end up getting these things in your backpack, and then thematically you are using the things once you have gained them in the first place. And that's going to gain you elevation, which will gain you more and more rewards. And there is a nice, you know, interplay between how much do I want to fill this backpack up, because I can get really good rewards for it if I fill it up quickly, versus how much do I want to repeat the rewards that I've already gained so I can get this elevation, get to resources, but also arrowheads, endgame scoring. The earlier you get those, the more you can tailor things towards it, and the earlier you get your extra action tokens, the more actions you can take in the game, which is always just a fantastic thing. It's a really good, you know, struggle between those two things. You will eventually want to get to a certain point because you need food and water every day, and you need to get to this lodge to be able to get the food. And if you just never get there, it's your main way of getting rid of the hardship tokens you might get as well. Going on the trail is a lovely system as well. Like, talking about little thematic things. I know it's just a deck of cards that's got a hole punched in it and a ring through it, but I don't care. It's a really, really beautiful touch. Yeah, your map guide card is going to tell you the resources you need. You can plan, you know, look through it and see what you might need in the next few turns, so that you can advance up this track. You're never going to quite know, because the weather might get in your way. Another incentive to try and fill your backpack up or get some resources in tow. These tokens here are going to make things more and more expensive as you go along the trail. But that's nice tension and choice between, you've got 12 days in the game, or there is a variant where you can just play with 10. You've got 12 days normally, and you need to take 10 steps. You can only ever take one per day. So you've got 2 freebies. So if you, as I think I did in the playthrough, if you happen to take your 2 freebies right at the start of the game, the pressure's really on them, because if you don't get to step 10, you can't win the game. So you don't want that to happen in like day 3 and then that's it. I'm sure that wouldn't happen. But yeah, you've got to be planning every day. You've got to make some kind of progress to it, and you've got a little bit of freedom, because the weather can really trip you up as well. You might get, you know, better luck with most of the weather. As I said at the start of the playthrough, I know it didn't turn out like that. Most of the weather is nice, and there are some extreme ones in there. We did get quite a few. There's more than half of them were nice weather. But yeah, you never quite know how it's going to go. So you can't just rely on getting by with a couple of resources and things, and I'll spend all of this stuff on all of these cards now, and oh, I know it's only going to cost me a water or a condition to get to the next step next time, because the weather can come in and trip you up with that. And you can decide some things that you might need in your backpack. You can see from the start of the game what's going to be needed on this trail, and maybe get stuff in your backpack accordingly, and then look at what's coming out. But there's so many different ways of scoring that, you know, you don't have to do absolutely everything, but, you know, dabbling in things, you know, an expedition of each type just to get you all of those rewards and some bonus points. Try and get yourself at least some kind of set of the cards. But yeah, you can really focus in on certain things, which is going to be helped, of course, by your arrowheads. your end game scoring goals. But I really like the golden arrowhead is a lovely touch as well. It's just one of these, but it's doubled and everyone can go for it. So then, like in the playthrough, suddenly falls and features expedition cards are suddenly really desirable and everyone wants them as soon as they've come out, because potentially they can get 16 points. You know, as your personal goal, it would still be a pretty nice thing to be able to get 8 points. Yeah, especially as everyone's competing for them. There's not a ton of falls and features cards, even if you get a bit luckier in the draw than we did. Everyone, especially in a 4-player game, isn't going to be able to fill up with 4, so there's some really good competition over that stuff. Competition over the spaces as well in just a 2-player game. It's nice that you can go to the lodge when you want, but you know, for the resources and stuff, only one person can go there. So depending on what you need, especially maybe for the food and water, it can be really it can really mess you up if you can't get any water, for example, or there was like a resource you desperately needed. But I like that there are ways past that as well, that you can still advance on the expedition even if you didn't get all of the stuff. So you can't really completely get frozen out of it. Even if you couldn't, for some reason, get the resources you desperately needed, you can still choose to progress in it. You're just going to take hardship tokens for everything you couldn't pay for, and you can get rid of those. There are cards that will help you get rid of them as well. There's an action space that can take them away as well. So yeah, there are ways around a lot of the things. So it's not, you know, up to the luck of what comes out or just the turn order, which of course you've got say in. You can go and take the first player. It does rotate all the time, but you can go and take first player and be in charge next time. The cards will completely refresh as you go along this trail and change things up. Yeah, it's just got loads going for it. I've really loved my short time with it. I'll say, admittedly, I've had this prototype for like 5 days. Hey, there's a Kickstarter show. We need to get videos of. But yeah, I've absolutely loved my time with it so far. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really appealing thing. Just like, not to just harp on the look of it and diminish the gameplay. I think I've said I really enjoy the gameplay. But yeah, I think it's going to have a real presence and really draw people in. It is similar. I know the gameplay isn't similar at all, and it's just kind of theme-wise. But yeah, it's got a bit of a feel that that Cascadia did. There's more going on, of course. It's a bigger worker placement-y type game, but it does have this kind of, thematically, it has this nice kind of tranquil nature to it, that you are going and seeing all of these lovely things. You are, you know, filling in your guidebook with the various birds and things that you are seeing. It's just a really nice time all around. Yeah, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. But the playthrough will give you the best idea of what you might think of it, I hope anyway, and you can check that out if you haven't already in the description. Thank you for watching this though. Remember, it's on Kickstarter. It's linked in the description. You can check that out as well. A lot of things in that description. Good, aren't they? Thanks for watching this video though, and I'll see you for the next game. Bye everyone.